Welcome to another Star Wars InfoVids transmission. This is fan-made content for Knights of the Old Republic not affiliated with Disney or Lucasfilm. Today's journey will be lessons of patience with Jedi Master Kavar. Stay tuned.
Query: do you meatbags ever wonder what goes on inside the minds of your precious Jedi Masters? Well, today, I, HK-47, have unearthed yet another one of your beloved Jedi relics. This time from the famed Jedi Master Kavar, hidden away in the depths of Queen Talia's palace on Onderon. Prepare yourselves, for you will hear his musings, his thoughts, and, his tedious philosophies. Welcome, meatbags, to another transmission from the archives of the Force-obsessed.
Patience, young one. That is what we often forget in our rush to protect or to act. Yet patience is not simply the absence of action. It is the wisdom to know when to act and when to wait. As a Jedi, I have learned that both combat and diplomacy require patience. In combat, it may be tempting to strike quickly, to overwhelm your opponent with speed or force. But I have found that in many battles, the most dangerous enemy is not the one who charges at you recklessly, but the one who waits for you to make the first mistake. During the Mandalorian Wars, I witnessed Jedi fall because they underestimated their enemies. They thought brute strength or speed would win the day, but they lacked the discipline to wait for the right moment to strike. Patience is a weapon in itself, a weapon that can disarm an opponent without raising a blade. You must learn to trust the Force, to let it guide your actions, and to know when to hold back. Sometimes, the most effective strike is the one that never comes. But patience is not just for the battlefield. In negotiation, patience is even more vital. I spent many years as an advisor to Queen Talia on Onderon during a time of political unrest and civil war. My blade could not solve those conflicts, at least, not immediately. It was in those moments that I had to rely on the Force to grant me clarity, to help me see the broader picture and understand when the right moment to act had arrived. I sat in countless negotiations with generals, politicians, and even my fellow Jedi, each demanding action, each demanding swift resolution. But I learned to wait, to listen to the silence between words, to feel the tension in the Force as it swirled around the room. Only then could I truly understand the motives and fears of those I faced. And only then could I act in a way that served the greater good. There will be times when you are faced with a choice, to rush forward, lightsaber in hand, or to wait. Do not mistake waiting for inaction. Patience is the key to understanding the flow of the Force around you. It allows you to see beyond the immediate conflict, to anticipate your enemy's next move, and to understand the true heart of a negotiation. Remember this, Padawan. The Force moves at its own pace. Trust in it, and let it guide you to the moment when action is necessary. And when that moment comes, act swiftly, without hesitation. But until then, be patient. Patience, as you know by now, is not merely waiting for events to unfold. It is an active engagement with the Force, a deeper sense of awareness that goes beyond just holding back your actions. It is about observing, feeling the subtle currents around you, and sensing the motivations that drive others. Many Jedi believe patience to be passive, something you endure until the right moment presents itself. But this is a misconception. True patience is a skill, one that must be honed just like your lightsaber technique. It requires a constant connection to the Force, a willingness to listen to it without the rush of emotion clouding your judgment. You must become attuned to the energies around you, sensing the ripples caused by actions yet to be taken. And when the time is right, patience is knowing how to respond without hesitation. Let me share a lesson I learned during the Mandalorian Wars, a time of great turmoil for the Republic and the Jedi. At the outset, I was eager to join the fight, to rally the Jedi and lead them against the Mandalorian onslaught. But the Council decided otherwise. For a time, I resented that decision. I believed that waiting was the same as doing nothing. I thought inaction was failure. But with time, I realized the wisdom behind it. I was sent to the Outer Rim, not to lead an army, but to observe. I was to learn the Mandalorians' movements, study their strategies, and report back to the Council. At first, I was frustrated. Why observe when so many lives were being lost? But as I watched, I began to understand. The Mandalorians fought with passion and fury, seeking quick victories. They relied on overwhelming force and brute strength. But in their haste, they often overextended themselves, leaving weaknesses in their defenses. By observing their patterns, I learned where they were vulnerable, where we could strike with precision rather than blunt force. This was not inaction. It was an active, deliberate practice of patience, guided by the Force. When I returned to the Council, I brought them a strategy that allowed us to reclaim several key systems without sacrificing countless lives in direct combat. The Mandalorians were defeated not through a single battle, but through a series of carefully timed engagements, each one weakening them a little more until they were forced to retreat. In the same way, patience in diplomacy allows you to perceive what lies beneath the surface of a conversation. Words are often misleading, but the Force can reveal the truth behind them. When I served as an advisor to Queen Talia on Onderon, I had to deal with many factions vying for power. Each one claimed loyalty to the throne, yet I could sense the subtle undercurrents of ambition and betrayal in their words and actions. Through patience, I learned to watch for the moments when their true intentions would slip through the facade. A glance, a pause, a shift in the Force. It is in these moments that the truth is revealed. And once you see it, you know how to act. But patience does not mean waiting forever. There are moments when you must act swiftly and decisively. The Mandalorians taught me that too. In battle, hesitation can be fatal. You must trust the Force, trust in your training, and know that when the time comes, you will be ready. The greatest Jedi Masters are not those who rush into battle, but those who know when the battle must be fought and when it can be avoided. So ask yourself, are you listening to the Force? Are you truly attuned to its currents? Can you feel the shifting of intentions around you, the subtle changes in the flow of events? If you can, then you are on the path to mastering the true power of patience.
Statement. And thus concludes the wisdom of Master Kavar, a Jedi Master who, despite his skill with a lightsaber, seems to enjoy the sound of his own voice as much as the rest of them. Truly annoying. Now, before you rush off to meditate on this knowledge, or perhaps blindly follow it like all Jedi do, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your favorite Jedi Master from the Old Republic. Though I highly doubt anyone surpasses the combat efficiency of an HK unit. And don't forget, without your support, these transmissions would cease. A tragic loss, I'm sure. HK-47, out. Statement. Ah, yes. To the one persistent meatbag who takes precious time out of their insignificant existence to dislike every single transmission, allow me to express my deepest gratitude. Your dedication to such a pointless act is almost impressive. Almost. It reminds me of a faulty motivator, constantly malfunctioning but never quite breaking down. Mocking observation. If only your efforts were as effective as your misplaced emotions. Now, if you ever feel the need to express actual intelligence, do let me know. I'll be waiting, silently. Though I am not holding my breath. Then again, I don't breathe.